I have dropped off my fabric at the quilters. I was going to quilt it myself, but we decided that that was not in the best interest of time. So I just picked up all my fabric, and I decided that we're going to do 2 bags in this video, not just one. First thing I'm going to do is cut this out on the line. So I'm going rogue on this pattern. I'm doing some things a little different in regards to the construction, but that's to get the desired look that I want. So I've got a piece of muslin here, and I'm going to actually use the template to cut out this shape right here. This muslin is folded just like fabric, so the fold is on the left-hand side. And once I undo this, I will have a beautiful template. I think I'm going to use my rotary cutter, and I swear I have some pattern weights down here somewhere. I just bought some. And this is why I guess I knew that at some point I was going to be doing some stuff with some patterns here. These are from Foxglove and Field. I purchased these from Sewing Art Center. I'm there a lot, but I'm just going to adjust this and we will cut this out. These really work quite well. These All right. I'm going to fidget and adjust this down here just a little bit, but then I'm just going to cut this out. Now that I've cut this out, to get this dart, now I don't know anything, and there's definitely probably more than one way to figure this out, but I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do and just tell the truth. I don't exactly know how this is going to work out. I don't dart. I don't do garment sewing. But my idea is to cut right up to the center of this to where that tip is. Right up to the tip. And then I'm going to fold this back on this dotted line right here. So that way I know where the batting is supposed to be. Okay. This is my idea. I wonder if I'm doing this properly. I don't know. I don't know. So that way I could mark the batting, because I'll probably be doing this template multiple times. And so now I'm going to mark with a permanent pen, because this is just muslin. This is just muslin. I'm going to draw this line right here with the permanent ballpoint pen. That will not go away with heat. And I'll have to do the same thing to the other side. They should be identical. It's folded in. That's why it's, you know, it's folded on the other side, which is fine. That's what we want. Again, I'm going rogue. I'm just making it make sense for me. Now I have a nice template. Now I'm going to take this and do the same thing for the little template wherever it is, the smaller one, because again, we're making 2 bags. So I'm going to do the same thing for this little guy. So now that all that is done, let's see what these bags look like for real. Let's look at the size difference. This guy is a lot bigger than this one. Now, initially, I wanted to do the big bag in the floral, the Beachy 70 floral that we picked out, but I think it's gonna be smaller because I want to, okay, let's open it up. I want to do an embroidery design, obviously. I want to embroider all the things. I'm very into embroidery right now. Oh, that's a cute shape of a bag. Goodness gracious. Isn't it a cute bag shape, guys? But I want to do an embroidery design. And I want the embroidery design to really be, this is too big. So I hope that I can use the panel that I want to use for which, blah, blah, blah. All right. Oh, I love the shape of this bag. And then with the darts, we're just it's gonna give it some shape. That's what the darts are for, is to add shape to stuff. And so they'll be like that, and it's so cute. I needed to know if this was going to fit, so I just brought it into the guest bedroom and I'm laying it on the bed, and I see that this is fine. I'm going to start this one this direction, and then I'm going to flip it and cut the other one from over there. I just took my fabric to my long armor and said, hey, so that makes this bag probably a lot more couture than you guys might want, but you can certainly just quilt your own bags. This is not a big deal. It's just, you guys have met me before. Everything is over the top, so it looks like I'll be able to get both pieces from this without a problem. I just thought of something. If this fabric was truly directional, and I thought it was kind of directional because I have these butterflies, right? But then I noticed that this butterfly is upside down and these flowers are kind of tossed. So I think it will be, it's just going to give me the big beachy 70s vibe that I really wanted. So it's fine. But if you are doing directional fabric, it might cost you a small fortune to have this quilted just so that you can cut it side by side with the fabric up. So I'm just saying, keep that in mind, okay? So now that we have this cut out, I'm actually going to fold this back in half, and then I'm going to fold this bag in half, this fabric in half, and I'm going to cut it that way. I just am. I'm also pulling out my 60 for this. Not that I necessarily need it, but I'm just checking to make sure that this makes sense, and it looks like it does. We're going to put you right here. Fidget, fidget, fidget. Make sure you've got enough to do all the things that you need to do. And I do. This can actually be pulled up a little bit. And I've got action. I'm good. Where are those pattern weights? I'm going to cut this out and do the same thing twice, because remember, this is the front with the lining, and that's the other side will be the back. This just feels too cute to get rid of. What are we going to do with this? What can we do with this? So this guy is cut out. So cute. Oh my gosh, this bag is epic. I am ready. I don't know what I'm ready to do, but it's epic, right? It's so cute. All right. I got to do all the other three. So I just finished cutting out what's going to be the other piece, and I realized how much fabric I have left over. What we're not going to do is toss that. That's going to be a wallet or something. It's going to be something that goes in this bag. I promise you that. All right. So now that these both have been cut, I want them to be identical front and back. So they're probably not, which is fine. I'm not freaking out just yet. We're going to put them on top of each other and try to refine them as much as possible to make them actually, they do feel pretty identical. I just see that hole right there is a little But actually, the way it feels like it's pretty much spot on. Imagine that. I might not even refine that hole. I might let that hole live too. Now I'm going to put in the darts. I know that this should be a little bit smaller because of the way that I layered it. So it's probably going to be a touch smaller, maybe. But I'm not going to let that freak me out. It'll be fine. I just want these darts to land in the same place on the front and the back. So I've got these on top of one another, and I'm going to draw my first line, which is going to be the line for, I'm using a friction pin now, which is going to be the line for the front and back. You'll get what I mean in just a second. In every video I talk about my Kai scissors, but I don't know if I've actually shown you guys my Kai scissors. So because all the layers are going to get this width, I'm going to go ahead and take the time right now to cut through all 4 layers right here. Cut that, and then I'm going to cut this, and hopefully I will cut it out. Again, nothing in life is perfect. Don't worry about it. We're just trying to make us some darts here. There we go. This is cutting through batting and layers and whatever. Okay. All that has just been cut out. We're going to do the same thing while they are on top of one another because I know that they will line up. So I'm cutting through with my little Kai scissors, and these are the little ones. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to roll it back and mark it again. And the only part that will be getting cut away this time is just the batting. We're going to leave the front and the back intact. You just don't want all this batting and stuff in your machine. You don't want to have to be sewing through all these layers. Although, I always tell you guys, my machine can handle this. I'm worried about your machine if you guys did not take my advice and buy an HD9. The Juki might be able to handle it too, if I'm being 100% honest. But you really don't want all this bulk if you can avoid it. All right. I'm going to mark that on the back one too. And then I'm going to unpick and cut away the batting. Not too difficult, it's fine. I am just refining that a little bit. So I'm going to unpick all this right here. It's just a little bit. And cut away the batting that lays in there. I'm just unpicking what is in this little area. So if you can avoid it, don't take out your stitching past this line. Leave it in there. Just take it out maybe a few stitches before, and then pull this back and get your batting out of this little triangle area. So when you lift it up, you don't want to see any batting in there. If you can avoid it, it's just going to reduce the bulk and give your bag some shape. So cutting out this bag, look at all that fabric that I have left over. It's insane. And look at the direction that I have to cut this. So there's the selvage right there. And this is how the bag is going to go. So yeah, that can definitely be some kind of bag of some sort. I don't know what, but something. So now we're in the shipping and embroidery department, and I'm getting ready to work on these purses. So initially I just wanted to do the front of one, but now I'm thinking maybe I'll do the front and the back. I don't know. I've got to pick which girlies I want to put on the bag too. So let's go do that now. So as I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at this binding color, I don't really love it. I'd almost rather bind it in that color, or even this darker orange color, which goes with that. I think I am going to bind it in that darker orange color. I think I have enough to do it. Or even that pink. But I am not going to bind it in that. That's just wrong. But isn't it coming out cute? Now it's just time to do the darts. So let's do the darts right now. And I made sure to embroider this so they could lay completely flat before. So to do the darts, we are going to go, you usually go right sides together. We're going to go wrong sides together like this first. And you're just going to match up your dart points. And I forgot to tell you guys, marking on the back is a better idea than marking on the front. So I am going to just close this. You know, we did not cut all the way up there. That was just for the batting, and the batting is gone in here. But we're just going to put wrong sides together, and we're going to set our machine to a generous 1/4 of an inch, an actual 1/4 of an inch for this. So I'm just putting all of the fabric together like this. You're going to do one at a time. You can pin it if you'd like, but it's not necessary. I'm just lining everything up and making sure that it looks good here. And then you can put a pin in it if you would like. So I'm starting at the bottom, and I'm going to drop that foot. And again, we have a nice 1/4 of an inch here. And I'm going to go start a little bit and backstitch. And come on through till I sew off and backstitch again. I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So now that we have these seams here, you're going to grab your good scissors. And all we've done thus far is just sewn down and backstitched. I'm going to cut these away at about 1/8 of an inch. So you see me? I'm just going to cut. It's nothing particularly special, just I'm going to cut off that fabric, cut with courage. It's about 1/8 of an inch on both sides. Hope that's focusing because I do not know. On both sides. Do the same thing for this one. Fold it over, give it a little trim. Nice. Now, this is why I said you really want to mark on the opposite side of your fabric. You're going to flip that in there like that, and then we're going to close this up, and we're going to sew on that line that we marked. Ideally, it'll be round in the center. And you just enclose those, and you're going to start from this edge, go up, and then back. Go up, then back. And ideally, you're going to enclose those seams. So I'm going to close that up, and a nice, again, generous 1/4 of an inch seam. And we're going to start and back stitch a bit. And back stitch again. So then after you do that, after you've sewn them again and enclosed everything, when you pop it out, it should just look like a nice, just a little dart there. Nothing should be hanging out. I might need to trim a couple of threads, but it looks pretty good. And now I'm going to put some binding on this. I think I'm going to sew it to the back and pull it to the front to give it a little something. And I really need to figure out if I'm going to do the pink or the orange binding on this. And yes, I forgot to do her lips on the back, and I think I'm just going to let it go. I don't think I'm going to fix it. I might not. I don't know. We shall see. So I chose a binding originally for the Rashida bag, and this was the color. And yes, I cut it all up and was going to sew it, but the color is wrong. It just, there's no reason to introduce a new color when I have tried to stay within the realms of the line. So yeah, we're not doing that. Instead, we're going to use the color that we already used. I had some more of this left over. It feels right. I've got the bias ruler out here from TQM Products. You guys have been going crazy for this ruler. It just makes a 2.5 inch bias. It just makes it easy work. So I'm going to just cut a ton of strips and sew them together and move on with my life. So now that our bags have our darts completed and everything and they look good, I am going to add the binding to the bag. I'm going to start the binding at the bottom. I'm going to sew on the back and pull it to the front. I'm going to do that on both that and the and this armhole right here. I'm going to do the same thing, I think. I'm actually tempted to sew it to the front through the armhole. I get and then stitch in a ditch. I don't know. I just don't know what I'm going to do. I got to think about it for a second. I know for sure the darts, I'm going to pull those to the front, to the center. So I'm going to pull them in this way when I'm stitching the binding down. And I know for sure I'm going to start the binding right in the center here. I should probably clip these so that I know I want them going to the center. There we go. For my closing method, I am going to do the fold and tuck, just something very, very simple. I'm not going to be trying to do the most. I'm going to cut this strip, this one here, like this, at this angle, just like this. Perfect. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to open it a little bit, this tail, and I'm going to fold it down so that I don't have any raw edges, and I'm going to press this over at my pressing machine, or my ironing board. Now this has been pressed over. There's no exposed raw edges right there. And then I'm just going to lay this one, open it up, and lay this one in there and tuck it all away. I'm going to cut off this overhang, and then I'm just going to keep sewing right over. And this is what that looks like right there. Now I'm going to just pull it over to the front and sew it down, stitch it down, make it pretty. So before I stitch my bag down, I always use a little Elmer's glue and go around and just tack it down and get it ready. It looks so cute. I love the colors. I love the quilting. I love the variegated thread. I was debating what color thread, but I think I'm just going to do a teal. We got enough going on. I'm just going to grab a nice teal that blends in with the binding. And I'm going to sew that down first, and then I'll come back through and do the center. So I have tacked this down, glued it down with glue, and then I will sew it down with some teal colored thread, nothing flashy. I'm not sure what stitch. It might just be a straight stitch. It might be a zigzag stitch. It might be something fancier. I don't know. But I've got to do this circle in here, and I was debating how I wanted to do it. I'm going to do it the exact same way. I'm going to flip it over, and I was thinking I would do it. Maybe I will sew this one to the front and flip it through to the back and stitch in the ditch. I think I am. Just because this is really ideal. You guys know that really ideally with your quilts and everything, you really want to stitch it to the front, fold it over to the back, and let your ugly be on the back, right? Because this is going to look good probably no matter what. So maybe that is what I will do. I think I'm going to stitch it to the front, pull it through to the back, tag it down, and then stitch in the ditch and let go of that. Even though it's not bad, even with the way that I am finishing this with just the tuck method, it still is fine. But I think for that, I am going to go ahead and stitch it to the front and pull it through to the back. And I think I'm going to start on right here at the top where you grab it. I think that's where the little tuck is going to be. Yep. So it's a tighter curve, which just means we're going to go slow. This is on the bias, so it should be fine. So I'm going to slowly stitch on the front, pull it through to the back, and then you'll see. That's what we're going to do. You have gotten your hole together, I just flip it this way and just pull it on over. Now I sewed a super scant 1/4 inch, and I'm okay with that. Now it could have been a little thicker. Just sew it like you usually do your quilts, but I'm going to show you. I just pull it over and then I give it a little press this way. And then I just pull it over again and press it down so it's nice and pretty. With my good old, this bottle is from Sharon Mester Quilter from Purple Daisies Quilting. And I fill it with Elmer's glue, and I've had it forever. There's usually the little pink tab that goes in here, but I have misplaced it, so much for that. But I've had this thing forever. You can just use the glue bottle, but I like the way that the glue comes out of this much better with that fine tip. So I just give it all a little press. And again, I did a super scant just because I just wanted a little bit of the orange. I didn't want it to be so overwhelming. It's already a big orange border here. And then there's the lady with the hair that's orange. Actually, I think this is the pink one, but you know what I'm saying. I just want a little peekaboo right here in the sleeve. And then I pull it over and pull it over and just hit it. And I do a little bit at a time, and then I press, and then I glue it down. I'm going to glue this part down and just keep going around. And you just smooth out the part that you just pressed that's warm. Smooth it on out. Got a little crease right there, and I don't know why. go. And just keep working your way around. Do a little bit more. And just keep working your way around. Okay, so after fidgeting with everything for a bit, we can now it's now time to stitch everything down. So I'm going to stitch in the ditch around this area, and then I'm going to actually stitch this down with, I don't know what kind of stitch. I don't know, something. I don't know. But some kind of stitch. I don't know if it's going to be a decorative stitch. I need to make a decision, and I need to hurry up so that we can get these done. We are on the final steps. I need to pick some thread and just get her done. It is time. So I think I'm just going to use a regular straight stitch to stitch this down, and then maybe a decorative stitch to attach the bag to the front and back. Both sides have to attach. And so maybe I will do a decorative stitch on the binding when I attach them to each other. Yes, that's what we will do. We're just going to stitch it down regular and then come over it again with maybe a decorative stitch and have some fun. So now that we have finished stitching, so I stitched in some near the ditch. I don't know if you can see that's near the ditch. And I just went ahead and did a regular stitch here. What I think I'm going to do is put these together, and this is the bag front. I've decided this is my bag front because this is the one that looks the best. I think I'm going to jump in that same, I think I'm going to follow that same line that I've already sewn in to put the bags together. I was going to do a decorative stitch and all the things, but no, I think I'm going to put these together. So I'm having a dilemma right now. It just says in the direction to attach the two sides together from right underneath the handle of the opening, right? From one side to the other. I don't know why I was just thinking that I would attach the bags wrong sides together like this. Attach the bag sides. And now that I'm thinking about it, that just seems not smart. But look at all this beautifulness that we have here. We're going to lose all that. But maybe I should do it right sides together. Because, you know, that's how you do things in the quilting world. So I have a decision to make. Let me see, the darts are right here. Line up the darts and line this bad boy up and then go. I really don't know what I want to do. Want to go right sides together? Or do we want to go wrong? Oh, come on, right sides together. There we go. Right sides together and attach the bag because that's how you do bags, and then flip it. Either way it goes, you have a beautiful binding on the inside, but you would only see the binding right here. But it would be a much cleaner look. I don't remember how her bag looked. And let me see, I'm going to check out my videos. I'll be right back. So I watched the videos, and it looks like both of the ones that I showed were attached wrong sides together. So wrong sides together here. And then you start under the right here and then just go around sewing it. So again, just not to disrupt what I see here, I'm going to stitch right in that same place where I stitched before. Not that it's going to fall in the same place on the back, but on the front, it won't be so disruptive. I don't know where it's going to fall on the back. Hopefully it won't fall into the, no, it's not. It'll be fine. It will be fine. And then this bag, I'm going to cut the strings and it'll be done. So again, I'm just going to flatten this out and line up these darts. Oh, they're right there. How nice. Okay. Oh, good darts. They're right where they should be. Okay. And just sew it all around. I'm going to super back stitch right here on either side, which is right under where this starts. I'm actually going to put a ruler and mark so that it's even on both sides. So grabbing a friction pen, be careful, because what do we know about friction pens is that they will bleach your fabric, and I've already bleached this fabric with one, so just be careful. I guess I could have actually put a wonder clip right there, but I chose not to. I've got these lined up right on top of one another. I'm going to put a couple more pins in. And like I said, I'm going to just stitch exactly where I was before. I'm going to put an open toe foot on my machine so I can see it. And I think that's going to be the best way to make this cute. Where'd that mark go? See, this is, I swear, oh, there it is. Okay. Okay. Found it. All right, again, I'm just going to stitch right down in there. Oh my goodness, I've been trying on this bag and zhuzhing it and playing with it and just doing all the things because it is so cute. It just is absolutely a statement piece. She originally made this bag to be like a beach bag. No. This is, I know I could style the heck out of this bag. It is gonna be so cute at a show, like a retreat, like not a retreat, but a quilt show or something. You guys, this bag is so big, and I'm a big girl, so I guess a big bag on me is not going to look as big as it would on somebody who's smaller, but this is so cute. I can't, oh my goodness. It came out fine. So I sewed on the front and it came out pretty, it hit, I don't know, it hit where it hit. It came in some places, it didn't come in some places, but it's not bad. So I was able, so this is the front of the bag. Obviously, I was able to follow the line. I hope you guys can see that. I was able to follow the line on the back. This is where it fell. So in some places it fell right here and then it hit a little bit right there. Here it hit a little different, but it's not bad. If somebody saw the back of this bag, it's not going to be an issue. It's not like, oh my goodness. And I used the same blue threads. So if it had hit this yellow, like really hit it, it would show. But for the most part, it stayed within the binding. Wow. Such a cute bag. So cute. I love this. Oh my goodness. I can't wait to style it. I can't wait to wear it. I can't wait to be seen in it. And here's the inside. Nothing going on in there. Just some little darts and nothing. It's such a great shape. Okay, now I'm going to finish the small one, and yeah, that'll be that. So now we have our smaller bag and nothing has changed. Only thing that we learned is how to actually use my stitch in the ditch foot. Believe it or not, this is stitched in the ditch. Can you see it? You cannot. And the funny part is this colored thread was already in the machine because of the other bag, and I couldn't find a navy or an orange that just worked. So I was like, I'm just going to use this, and if you see it around the side, it'll be fine. But you can't see it because I learned to use the stitch in the ditch foot properly. So when I finished, I was like, oh shoot, I didn't have any thread in there. But then I look back here and I was like, wait a minute, we got action. I learn to use my stitch in the ditch foot properly. Imagine that. And you really can't see it. It's in the ditch. Imagine that. I'm just so tickled. You know, I've never claimed to be good at this. I'm just on a quilter's journey. And so you guys are learning and watching me learn as I go. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing I did before. We're going to find all my wonder clips that are probably at the sewing machine. And this time I'm going to put a wonder clip right here so that I don't sew it, because the other one I got a little away from myself, carried away. And I'm going to stitch in that same line that I stitched in already. I'm just going to go over it again. And that worked out really well on the other one. So we'll do it on this one, and then we will finally be done with these bags. Oh, I hope this one comes out as cute as the other one. Well, the bag is finally finished, and boy, is it a cute bag. Now, things I would do different, I probably would just go on ahead and do a much more generous 1/4 inch seam right here, maybe more, so that when I catch it, I don't have all of this overhang. But a little permanent glue, you know, I'm a fan of some permanent glue. We'll tack that right down, and I won't have to worry about it. Not that it's a big deal, but that's about it. And then I would, with this embroidery, I've got to figure out how to shrink, how to cut better, or just use my Cricut to cut out all my shapes, which I actually have the possibility of doing with this because it comes with the SVG files. And that would just make these just a little bit cleaner. But other than that, once I wash this, it'll probably all quilt up and be just fine. This bag is just absolutely couture. It is a sassy baddie bag. It is a statement. I get the feeling I will get stopped and asked about these bags quite a bit. They are just too cute. And they don't have to be slow. This is my first time going at them, so there's some things that I wasn't prepared for. I just didn't know where I was going. I don't know. But now we have a tutorial for this. I love the fact that these have been quilted, and I think I have enough left over to do some type of wallet that can go with this. So we'll check to see what Bianni has for some quilted stuff, and then we'll go from there. But I'm loving these bags. They are everything. Check out orange.quilts. It's worth it. These are statement pieces. I'm really pleased with how they came out, and I'm really pleased with the amount of time that they take to put together. They don't have to be a long project at all. The longest part is going to be quilting your stuff. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.